Catch a vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Hello and welcome to another new episode right here at Catch a Vibe on Pulse 95 Radio. It's actually our 20th episode. Man, oh man. We've done 19 episodes and today is our 20th. I want to say shout out to everybody that, of course, turned us up. Yesterday's episode with Alexander Kusic was amazing and we learned so much about her. And shout out to all the incredible artists that, came through. Like I said, it really rejuvenates me and makes me know why I'm doing this, which is just really incredible. You can catch all the other episodes on YouTube and also streaming services, whether it's Spotify, Anghami, Apple, whatever it is. Today's guest, man oh man. And I gotta say something. Sometimes I use these interviews to get to know the artist more on a human level and get to know them. Sometimes I get an artist and I have heard maybe one or two tracks from them. I haven't interacted with them a lot. And then after I chat with them, I become a fan. So to all of you guys out there, for me, this is a selfish way as well for me to get to know these artists. And that's the way it works with me. Like it really does make a difference when I chat with them, get to know what they think about this, how did they get into this, what are the challenges they go through. It really does make a big difference with me. And man, today's guest is incredible. We're talking about an Indian singer-songwriter based right here in the UAE. She does really have a unique vibe to it, and we're going to definitely address that. And I love the fact that she stuck to her course and she stuck to her passion. We're talking about, obviously, jazz, soul, electronic music. But she also never forget where she comes from. And I think this is where my connection as Hassan or Big Hass connects with this artist, like the fact that she kind of dabbles in all her languages and also English, and all put together it's a beautiful thing, and she is on the way to India today as we speak, obviously on an amazing tour, which is just, I'm so proud. I'm talking about Shilpa Ananth. We're gonna say hi. How are you?
Hey, how
Bless
are you?
How are you?
I'm so good. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming through. It means a lot. And like I said, I just want to get to know you a little bit. So in this first segment, this is what I really want to do. What's the story with Shilpa and music? How did you stumble on music, or did music kind of, hey, Shilpa, come through? What's the story with that?
I think it's a little bit of both, actually, because when I was about 3 years old, my parents heard me singing, and I was just singing some very complicated Tamil folk song just by myself in the corner, and they were like, wow, this kid is singing something, like actually able to like communicate the language, but also the melody and sing in the right key and everything.
How old were you?
3 years old, yeah. So at that time they took the step. They were thinking, okay, why not we start her voice lessons, even though it's quite early, and they would have eventually done it anyway, because as coming from the background that I come from,
India,
right?
of course,
South India, especially South India.
Correct.
So there's this very much. And also the fact that my parents are quite traditional and quite conservative. So they wanted me to make, and growing up in the UAE, I grew up in Dubai. I was born here. So they wanted to make sure I don't lose touch with my roots. And even though I'm growing up here, they put me...
That's it. You see, that's what attracted me about you.
100%.
Like, mashallah, you're very talented, you're incredible. But the fact that we are able to get to know your culture through music, this is my way, like
Absolutely.
Oh
yeah.
man.
So that's how it started. My journey with music started because my parents saw me singing and realized that potentially this might be something for me. I might be interested in it, or maybe this is a good time to start me in classical voice lessons. And that was the age that I got into music and found music. And ever since then, I have tried to leave it. There had been times when I'm like, I'm done with this. I should get a regular, in quotes, regular job, try to do something and, live a more stable life. But every time I've decided to give up, music it sounds
got
cliched.
You back.
Yeah, but it's never let go of me. It hasn't given up on me. And there's always been something that came through and it was like, just a little bit more. Keep pushing, don't give up yet. Like, your life is meant for more. With music, just keep going. Don't fall into the traps of like a stable or whatever society tells you need to do.
Wow.
So
that's
yeah.
dropping jewels right there. We haven't even crossed 3 minutes of the show. Wow. Shilpa, okay, just the devil advocate question.
Yeah.
If your parents, for example, didn't give you that, obviously, let's say, where would you be right now? Would you think still have music would have found you?
I think so, definitely, because even though my parents, bless them, they wanted me to, get involved in Indian music and started me in all these lessons.
Yeah.
But I don't think they would have ever seen the direction I would go in, or that this would be my path for my life. Of course, no, I don't think any Asian parent wants, or Middle Eastern, or any, like,
Correct.
in this region, I don't think parents really
There's
are.
always like a doctor or an engineer.
Exactly, or lawyer or
Yeah.
banker.
Yeah.
So I think that they would have preferred if I was going into one of those more, commercially stable kind of societally approved stable income jobs.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's so funny. It's just that they named me Shilpa, which actually means work of art. So, so I think they set themselves up for this life of torture with an artist child. But basically, I think regardless of what they would have done, I think because they constantly try to push me also in those other career paths.
Got you.
But music, and then also my spirit and whatever.
Your passion showed.
Exactly.
What do they think right now?
I think they're still confused.
Oh.
I think they're still waiting for the hope that.
That's funny.
No,
That's
no,
funny.
they're much more.
But seriously, we connect right there because as Arabs we have that as well. Like in terms of like this, doctor, engineer. This is a hobby, man. Like
Yeah,
just finish
this is
it.
a phase. Yeah, get over it. Like grow up.
Yeah, exactly. So we connect right there. Can we talk about the fact that you kind of bring obviously 3 of the oldest, Indian languages in this case? What are you talking about? Tamil.
Yeah.
Malayalam. And Hindi.
Yes.
How is wow? You see, really, I'm astonished. There's many questions right here. How is that all in with English? How did you combine all these together?
So for me, it was very important because I realized that I have these beautiful cultural backgrounds and these worlds that I'm a part of, because I grew up in the Middle East, but I'm from India, and then I left to study at Berklee College of Music in Boston, so I was in the West.
Respect.
Exactly. So I feel like there were so much of cultural in these worlds, and I found myself so drawn, so attracted to so many different styles. So I was very interested in jazz and R&B and soul, and at the same time I have my Indian background where I studied classical music and I love film music and spiritual music. And so I just decided once I graduated that I didn't want to be this or that. I wanted to be all of it. So I decided to combine these languages. Like, okay, maybe I sing a little bit in English and maybe I mix it with Tamil, or maybe I sing completely in English, but the instrumentation has some vibe of my culture.
Wait. Here, I have a lot of questions about that, but I'm going to take a break because I kind of want to talk about that.
Absolutely.
The challenges because a lot of people also want to represent their culture,
yes,
but they're not able to. Like we call them the third culture kids,
yes,
for example.
Yes.
They sing in English, they like in English, but they're obviously from Iraq or Syria or Palestine, but they're not able to incorporate.
Yeah.
And we'll see how maybe your experience can maybe inspire them or help them. We're gonna take a short break, but I want to play I Dwell.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about I Dwell a little bit?
Sure.
And it's the remix.
It's the remix version, yeah. So this song, my best friend and I, her name is Alexandra Denda. She's Serbian. We met at Berklee when we studied there together, and then we lived in New York at the same time.
Nice.
So it was like this beautiful connection that I have with this human being, and we wrote this song together. I reached out to her during 2020 pandemic time when we were all going crazy, and
a lot of things happened in the pandemic.
Yes, life changed. So I think for me at that time, I used my time to not go crazy by creating art, and that was the only thing that was keeping me alive and sane and keeping my purpose alive. So this song really represents that specific time of my life, but at the same time, female friendships and celebrating women empowering each other, supporting each other, and coming together for each other. So this song is all about just celebrating womanhood.
And I love that. Is it like a month old or so?
This remix has just been out for a month or so.
A month old. That's amazing. Okay.
But the original song came out last year.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And that's amazing. So let's hear this. Obviously, Alexandra Denda.
Yes.
And Shilpa Ananth.
Yes.
A beautiful record called I Dwell, the remix. Go check it out as well. We are with you guys. 4215 for any text lines and at Pulse 95 Radio. I'm with Shilpa Ananth, an incredible artist, really. How she mixes her culture with the now, with her. This is what we're going to talk about next, and we're going to hear her perform live. Keep it locked. We're going to be right back. It's Pulse 95.
Vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95. Pulse.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen, right here. Catch a vibe. Man, oh man, our actually 20th episode. And as we're doing this, obviously, with our guest, Shilpa Ananth, who is from South India, really representing. And we were just talking, Shilpa, I want to say thank you again for your time, for coming through. We were talking about how you obviously, what was the challenge, the main challenge for you to still be as authentic as possible and represent where you come from, yet do the things that your heart is telling you to do, which is like me singing in English or so. How did you combine that, and what was the main challenge?
For me, I think a lot of it was just trying to figure out how I'm going to incorporate and how am I going to do this, because a lot at the time I was deciding, okay, should I be completely Western or should I be completely Eastern? Because it's interesting when you're here, when you're in this part of the world, and if I was singing a jazz standard, people would be so into it and like, yes, you got to be doing that, that's what we need more of. And then when I'm in the West, the people over there are like, you need to be singing more Indian stuff, like waka. Here everyone's doing this stuff like the Western, so do the Eastern. So I felt that I was always being pulled in two different directions, like not being allowed to be myself in a way. So that's when I realized, okay, why don't I find a way to create a bridge between my culture, my heritage, so the East with my love and my kind of interest and this passion that I have for Western styles of music. So try to combine them in a way, and even if I'm singing in English, but I just have this articulation that comes from my classical background, but then if I sing in different languages, I'm opening up people to those languages.
Facts, and that's exactly what you're doing.
Exactly. So
what was that challenging? Like, when did you start doing that? Was it from early on?
I think I started it early on. I mean, what would you say early on? Because I started in 2014. So I feel like I was one of the first few people to do that.
With that?
Yes.
Oh,
this style.
wow.
Because my first album, Indian Soul, came out at that time.
Yeah.
And so I released all of this music. And I feel at the time it was very challenging I think it's still a challenge to a certain extent, to get people to listen to it and to get booked. Because people will be like, but are you jazz? Or are you Indian? Because this is a jazz club, or because this is an Indian music festival.
Wow.
So like I would just never be seen as the way, okay, this is an artist who is maybe creating a mix between the two, or trying to find a bridge between the two cultures that she's feeling so much a part of, a belonging in. So I feel like because I was not easily labeled or easily boxed.
But I actually like that.
Yeah. But at the time it was difficult for me to get the gigs that I wanted. Yeah.
Who's that?
You tell me.
Dream Race.
Yes.
When you're listening to this was what, like 3-4 years ago or so?
No. This one is part of Indian Soul. So this one came out in 2014.
2014?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This is one of my first releases.
When you look back and hear yourself right now,
Yeah.
what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Because a lot of people were like, "Oh, I cringe," like "Oh, I don't like." What, be honest. What do you think? It's a part of the evolution of Shilpa as well.
100%. I actually, when I listen to this, I think innocence actually, just because.
You think innocent?
Yeah, innocence. Like I feel like I sound so much more lighter, more innocent. I didn't know so many of the things I know now at that time.
That's
so
incredible.
I feel lighter, I think.
It's sorry, I'm dabbling into the past a little bit.
Not at all.
But out of this album, which is a record that it's dear to you?
Ooh, that's so difficult.
Is it Shadow?
I love Shadow.
Because I like Shadow.
Oh, I love that. Shadow.
Wake up to the sound.
Shadow is special. It's actually one of the first songs I wrote ever.
Why is it special?
Because it came from this place of it's actually dealing with mental health issue and also just speaking about the fear that I used to have of this literal shadow being your enemy, because we always think of like your shadow never leaves you. It's your friend for life. It's the one thing that stays with you no matter what, how far you go or how tall you get or where you go. And I just thought of it as like this one thing that we always thought is our like friend, it stays with us. But what if it's not? And what if it's trying to take over you and you are the shadow actually? Who knows what's the shadow? You know? So I think the song is like, dear.
Wow. No, I love that. And look, in the span of like 10, 12 minutes, I was able to even get to know you more. And that already makes me like a fan, which is just, I love that. Can I put you on the spot and hear something from you right now,
sure.
if you can? So
can't say no to you.
No, bless you, bless you. Which song you want to approve? Because I have like 2 instrumentals right here. Which one you feel like doing first?
I think let's go with Feel So Natural. That would be start with that one and then go bang with Fear.
Feel So Natural.
Let's do it.
Was that also from the first?
From the first album, yeah. Yeah.
What did that album obviously mean?
Indian soul. It's like twofold meaning. One is that in a very literal way, I'm an Indian person, and I was trying to communicate like that. This is where the music is coming from in a way, like from my soul.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also this genre that I kind of coined because I didn't know what else to call my music. So I decided to call it Indian soul, because I think it's Indian soul music. It's got the Indian flavors, but at the same time, it's chill and relaxing and vibey and brings the soul.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I still have a lot of questions, like technically on it, because I think you're able to, definitely tap into something important. And again, to those of you listening, and, let's say you're from the Arab region and you're trying to add your culture to it. I think with you, Shilpa, you didn't force it.
No, not at all. It's just what came.
But see, that's the problem that a lot of the people that I know go through. Yeah. They force it and it comes out cheesy. And it's just not.
It's not natural, or it doesn't sound authentic.
That's it.
100%.
Man, oh man. Okay, so we're going to play Feel So Natural right here. Whenever you're ready. Okay. Play the beat. Let's go. Shilpa Ananth.
You touch me and my body starts to shake. Convinced myself this day would never break. You hold me close, I'm terrified. It's everything I thought could never be. How was I supposed to know that you went and changed your mind? It happened just in time. Years of fear and bashfulness have brought me down and made me want to pull away. It's scary, 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 scary. These dreams come true. Now everything is alright. Never have to worry. I can sleep at night. You want me, and everybody knows that I want you. Feel so natural, just feel so natural. Yeah. It feels so natural, just feels so natural, yeah. It feels so natural, just feels so natural. Yeah.
Let's go, Shilpa.
Feels so natural, just feels so natural, hey.
Oh.
Hey. It feels so natural.
It's fun.
Just feels so natural. It feels so. It feels so, it feels so natural. So.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh man, you need a scratching right here.
so natural. It feels so natural, just feels so natural. Eh. It feels so natural, just feels so natural. Eh. It feels so natural, it feels so natural, it feels so natural, just feels so natural. Oh.
Oh. Wow. Okay. I got a few things to say. It felt like you took me on a journey with this one. So I'm a big fan of hip hop, and I don't know why you took me to to the golden days of that. You know, like I don't know, like
100%.
Erykah Badu.
Yes.
And
It's definitely
I
influenced.
wanted to ask you who like some of your inspirations.
It's definitely a lot of a mix. I think one of my favorite bands now, even in the last 10 years, has definitely been Hiatus Coyote.
Wow.
Yeah, I love Hiatus Coyote with all my heart. Like,
Wow.
I'm so influenced by them. I love James Blake. I've loved Erykah Badu since I was a kid. Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like
You
it's
see?
a mix. Yeah,
that's the mix.
And then coming
Oh.
from India, like I think for me, A.R. Rahman was a huge influence.
Shout
growing
out
up.
to A.R. Rahman.
Yeah, for sure.
What a guy. Legend.
Legend.
Can I ask you a question about A.R. Rahman?
Please.
Is it? I met somebody the other day, and they were like, A.R. Rahman. It's like if you don't like him, you're not like, it's not right.
I get you. I think like you need to be OG with him because for me, of course, like with any artist, and he's an incredible, very prolific composer.
Yeah.
But of course, he has gone through his evolution as well.
Yes.
And I would say for me, like I am not. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of anything and everything he creates.
Correct.
But because I grew up listening to him and he did something different from everyone else where he was actually giving a space for vocalists like that sound like me.
Thank you.
And just someone like that is doing something that's different and fusing styles and not afraid to experiment and
So
explore.
that's what inspired you in him.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You see,
100%.
and this is why Catch a Vibe and these kind of shows are important because for me, if I want to be able to show love and support to Shilpa, let's say, okay, so sometimes I kind of like a song, I don't like connect with the song, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But if I connect with you on a human level and understand why you're doing what you're doing, it makes me much more in tune. Oh man, this is amazing. I'm telling you, incredible. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Okay.
So out of the names that you mentioned right now,
Yes.
right? Select one name and give me one of their songs to play. It's
Ooh,
simple.
Okay.
I made it easy for you.
So difficult.
Yeah.
It's like, asking someone, like, especially
know.
for artists, it's so
Yeah,
difficult to
it
choose
is, it
this
is.
one.
But look, Ella Fitzgerald, incredible.
Yeah,
We can play her.
yeah.
Blake Griffin, you said?
No, James
Blake
Blake.
Griffin. Blake Griffin is a basketball player. James,
It's okay.
James Blake, yeah.
James
Okay.
Blake.
Yeah,
I think, for me, James Blake.
Okay.
Or else even Hiatus Coyote.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Which record? As long as it's clean, of course.
Of course. Oh God, now I don't know. Now I'm nervous.
It's okay. What, what's
think-
the record on your mind?
Okay, so I would say, let's say "Breathing Underwater" by Hiatus Coyote.
That's the one.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I think
We're going to play that and we're going to be right back. Hopefully it's clean, you guys. Don't worry.
hope
We'll clean it up. But we are with Shilpa Ananth out of South India, representing really South India, based right here. She's actually going on a tour, which is just a big deal. And we're talking about the tour up next. So do not go anywhere. It's Pulse 95.
Catch a Vibe with Big Hass. Only on Pulse. Pulse 95. Pulse.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Catch a Vibe, Big Hass on Pulse 95 Radio. Catch a Vibe is actually Pulse's first and only music dedicated radio show. This is our episode number 20. 20 different, people, 20 different artists, 20 different directions. What inspired them? What challenged them? What gets them down? How do they deal with the low days? It's just really amazing to see all that. And today we have Shilpa Ananth out of South India, and we have to talk about this. You're about to leave, obviously, and you're about to start your tour.
Yes.
13th of August.
Yes.
Shilpa Ananth, soul, jazz, pop, electronic, UAE, India. Now, I want you to tell me everything about how did you make that possible? Because you're going to what? You're going to Bangalore, you're going to Mumbai, you're going to Kochi,
yeah.
you're going to
Pune,
Goa,
Goa,
Pune, Delhi, of course.
Yes.
Tell me about this tour? And how long you've been actually working on it?
Oh my God, it's been a dream that has been, kind of percolating for the past few years actually. Because I went on my last sort of India tour in 2020.
Okay.
And that was just before the pandemic, the lockdown, and
Wow.
everything's just shutting down. So for the past few years, and it's amazing to me that we've actually already gone through 3 years since
Yeah.
that crazy time of our
Yeah.
lives.
Yeah.
And so it was something that I've been kind of having, in the works and trying to figure out how to do it and when to do it. And finally just decided that this is the year it's all going to happen. It's also happening. So it's been in the works and proper planning, maybe for the past 4 months now.
Wow.
Yeah. Every day.
How?
Sitting.
What's the challenges of doing a tour? And I really respect someone who's based here in the UAE. You're going back, obviously, to India,
Yeah.
where you're from, and going to a tour there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you're going to say, you're an artist based here in the UAE. You're
Yes.
going to maybe talk a little bit about the UAE.
Absolutely.
So that's important for us. So I'm so
Absolutely.
proud. What's the challenge? What's the main challenge in dealing with it? Different venues? And obviously, you made that happen. Like, you were also...
Yeah, so I think like for me, the main thing, because I realized from the last time that I went there, the first tour that I did, which I completely managed by myself
Okay.
with very little kind of help from supportive people who were already there and kind of already know some of the contacts. But it was really just something I did from scratch, and I lost so much of my kind of peace of mind just because they want to talk to you for everything. They just want
Correct.
to and any problems, everything, you've got to be the one to deal with it. And so it took a lot out of me, and I felt myself not able to kind of be the artist, and
Yeah.
the creative side was
You're
getting
focusing on the technical
too much,
things.
on the business and technical side of it. So this time I actually decided, okay, you know what, the best thing I can do for myself is to actually enlist help to get support.
Nice.
So I worked and have been working with this company called Curiosity, who is a tour management company based in India,
Wow.
in Chennai.
Shout out to them.
Yeah. So
Okay.
shout out to Arjun actually, who helped me with so much of the reaching out and kind of being the first point of contact with these venues.
Amazing.
So basically we had a chat and sorry, you were saying?
No, go ahead.
So sat and had a chat with him about the cities I wanted to go to and the kind of places
the
I was
vibe.
trying to target, and where I felt like it would be the best for me to, like, I would play as many as shows as I could, go to as many cities, but also that is the artist speaking. But from the business side, he was like, well, you're going to get tired, you need to make sure
Correct.
that you are
There's a space in between a little bit.
Exactly. And then also I have representation with my management, Snap and Boom, and so Thais
Snap and Boom.
Snap and Boom, yeah, which is a UAE based company.
Shout out to them as well.
Yeah, so that's my management company, and so basically Thais Edwards and who's my manager, as well as Arjun, who is my tour manager, and myself, we have been working tirelessly and
Respect.
making this tour happen.
Yeah, respect. That's a big round of applause right there. That's amazing. I'm inspired because to put a tour together is a bit tough. Like you're going obviously Phantom and Gillies.
Yes.
At
in
Bangalore.
yeah.
Can I ask you a question in terms of what does it mean to you that you're having a tour? Obviously, you've done that tour before, but what does it mean now? Probably new music.
Yes.
After the pandemic.
Yes.
What does it mean that you're going back? And are you excited, nervous? Are
Absolutely.
you're expecting what people are, gonna be welcoming you?
Oof. All of those things. You're so on it with everything. Because the thing is, the first time I did it, I was living in the US at the time, and I was in India for a period of time. I thought I was going back to Brooklyn where I lived, and so everything was different, and where I was in my mind, and my career path was different, and it was such a different space that I was in. And now it's different because I feel like I'm representing also the UAE and all the artists and the culture here.
Facts.
And, was born and brought up here, so I also feel a sense of pride and honor that I am representing this country while I go back home to the country that I am from as well. So it's different because both are my home, and so it's like taking home back to home in a way.
100%.
Yeah.
No, thank you for that. I think it's really important. But you said something interesting. When you were in the States, you had a different space.
Of course.
What sparked it? What was the change?
So for me, living in Brooklyn and New York, and I definitely felt like myself, and there were amazing opportunities, and I felt, myself grow there as an artist for sure. But, at the same time, there's always this feeling because I'm not from there. And, so there's always this thing of so what is your reason for the purpose of your visit? And I'm like, I live here, border. control. I don't understand the question. Repeat, please. So I kind of always felt
Love
like I
that you
did.
said that.
Yeah. So I always had this feeling of I have to go back home someday, or And I think more.
Wow.
I used to have that feeling about the UAE as well, but recently I got my golden visa, and I think the feeling changed a lot more.
Wow. See, that's
Yeah.
that's real talk. Like
Yeah.
that's talk from the heart. I
100%.
love that.
Yeah.
Does that, Shilpa, does that in any way inspire your songwriting? All these things?
Absolutely.
How?
Because I grew up here when the city was mainly desert and a few buildings, and the trade center was the largest building.
Oh wow.
You know,
You've seen that evolve.
I've seen it grow, yeah, because it was, and I grew up in Deira, it's the hood
Yeah,
at the moment,
definitely.
but that was New Dubai then, and my parents still live there. So
Yeah.
my dad's been here for over 40 years. He is Dubai.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So I think that for me, like growing up here, influenced by the styles of music that I was exposed to because of my, childhood being from here, but at the same time, the fact that I'm very close to my Indian heritage and culture and customs. So growing up and listening to those styles of music, and then living in the US, so I really think that I'm a very much open in that
Really
sense.
diverse, right?
Very
there.
much global, yeah, 100%.
But again, I keep circling back to this point where you were able to not force it.
No.
What was it? Was it difficult not to force it?
Not at all. I think for me, when I'm doing anything related to myself, I'm very, very much this type of person who is like, okay, it's a songwriting process, I take my time with it. I see what is coming out. Like, I don't let anyone else tell me like, this needs to be right now in Hindi, or hey, why don't you do this in Tamil? No, actually, I'm like, okay, that's why, like, we heard Feel So Natural. I just sang Feel So Natural,
Yeah.
which was completely in English.
Yeah.
But I have my stylings that have those Indian stylings, those melodic things that kind of give it that something unique, maybe spin or something like a little flavor.
Yeah.
So the thing is that, like, in my music, I try to not push anything and really just like sit with what am I going through, what am I trying to say, what language do I want to say it in, and then write from that place of just
Yeah.
write with
It
that
feels,
trust. Yeah,
Shilpa, as well, it feels like you're at peace with yourself.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
that's beautiful. To go back to the tour, obviously it starts on the 13th of August, ends on the
Yes.
23rd of August.
Yes.
You're going, mashallah, you're actually performing 3 times in Delhi,
Yes.
2 times in Mumbai.
Yes.
Is there any place you're looking forward specially to see? Like, because I'm looking right here, for example,
Yeah.
the True School of Music in Mumbai.
Yeah. And also GMI, the Global Music Institute.
Yes.
These two are going to be workshops. So I'm very
Oh.
excited. Yeah, because I feel like, performance is one thing, and then to be able to give back in this way where you're actually educating and being able to connect with students or people who want to be doing music, and potentially this is the path they're going to choose someday.
You're gonna make an impact on them.
I hope that's what I'm praying that happens. But to be able to speak and connect with them, I'm excited.
Obviously, you're going with your amazing band.
Yes.
Who are they? Like, tell me who's going with you.
Taking everyone that's amazing from the UAE.
How many? What are we talking about?
So it's going to be 5 of us. It's a
5?
quintet, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm taking Ray, Beatbox Ray.
Shout out Beatbox Ray.
Yeah.
An OG right here in the community. We're definitely gonna have him.
100%.
Okay, Beatbox Ray.
And then we have Ratish Chadda of Noon Band. He's
What?
going to be playing drums. Ratish is taking
Oh my
taking
God.
on drum duties, yeah.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
I'm a big fan of this brother.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
incredible.
All right. Who
And-
else?
And then I'm taking Asad Lakis. So he's going to be playing bass.
Yo, wait. This is like shit. Like, I hope India coverage. You gotta go cover that. We have to send coverage from here to go to that. These are like
Absolutely.
OGs right here.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah. I
wow.
had to
Okay,
take
who
the
else?
best.
Like what?
And then finally, Hiram Benton, he's going to be playing keys.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's all the best. Best of the UAE.
When you spoke to them about this tour, what was the initial feedback? Were they on board?
Yeah, 100%. Of course. Are they going to say no? I hope not. No. They were all on. They were just like, let me figure this out and
Yeah.
let's make it work. And because it's a lot of time
It is.
commitment.
It is.
Rehearsals as well as to be able to travel and
Time away from
You know,
maybe
what
home,
they're doing here,
family,
and opportunities that they have here. So I think it was. It's definitely something they needed to consider. But I think they're excited. They get to go to another country and tour
exactly.
and do this together.
Sorry, I just want to talk more about the
Yeah,
tour
yeah,
because I think it's important. Are the venues also like what kind of venues are we talking about? Are these venues like small venues, big venues? What's the sort of venue that we're expecting?
I feel like it's somewhere between a medium to big.
Great.
Yeah, 100%. Because like Fandom at Gillies is one of the biggest venues.
Yeah, that's what I
in
know that.
Bangalore, yeah. And also Bonobo is huge in Mumbai.
Bonobo,
Yeah.
wow.
And then Piano Man is a really beautiful and like.
The Piano Man.
Yes.
What a name.
It's a Piano Man Jazz Club. It's one of the best clubs in Delhi. One of the best spots to perform in.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm excited because it's a lot of these places.
Shilpa,
Yes.
look at me.
Yes.
Tell me, I'm putting the music. How do you feel? This is a big deal. So just forget everything and
Yeah.
tell me exactly how do you feel. Do you believe this is happening? You're going to a lot of cities. You're pushing your art.
Yes.
You're probably going to do obviously your own new music,
Of
original
course.
music.
Yes, yes.
You have OGs with you.
Yes,
in terms of like
yes.
the band.
Absolutely.
You're representing, obviously yourself as well.
Yes.
What are your like exactly how you feel?
I am so ecstatic.
Are you scared?
100% overwhelmed beyond belief. Like even before coming in here, I was sitting and just so many emails to
Yeah.
respond to, so many logistics to still prepare and plan, and housing and flights and
Oh, man,
visas and
yeah.
everything. But I think at the end of the day,
It's beautiful though.
yes, because as I do it, there's this one moment of stress where I'm like, oh my God, there's so much to do. I gotta do it all. I have to shop for my outfits. Like, there's so many things. Oh my God,
Yeah.
excess baggage.
Agreed.
With Hiren's pianos, it's gonna be more than 40 kilos, just the piano, with the keyboards that we're taking. So there's so many things to consider and so much money.
But I guess it's yeah, I hear you. Wallah, I hear you.
But
And I think
it's okay. It's okay because I'm doing what I love, and I would not want to compromise on the sound, and
wow.
I want to make sure that everything is at the best, like the standard is at its highest.
do you, obviously you have family
Yes.
there. Are they coming to any of these?
Oh, absolutely. Like my
Okay.
brother is actually in
In-
India right now.
Okay.
He lives in the US, but
Okay.
he's in India. He's landing on the day that I have my Kochi show.
This is
They've already bought tickets.
15th ticket. Oh,
Yeah, they
Oh,
bought tickets
supportive.
already.
That's
yeah,
nice.
yeah, they're not like guest list. They're like, they tried, and I'm like, guys, please, I need to sell tickets.
yeah. We need to push it.
We're buying 5
Oh,
tickets on us, like no
bless.
problem. So there's like family there. I've got cousins there. And I lived in Bangalore actually.
Yeah.
After I finished my high school in Dubai, I lived in Bangalore and studied. My first university degree was in psychology and media communications.
Oh wow.
So that was my first education and first kind of like moving away from home and living in India. So Bangalore is home to me, and I'm very excited to go back to that
That's
city.
amazing. And that's your first show.
My first show. A lot of
was it
friends.
deliberate? You wanted to start in Bangalore? or-
Nothing is deliberate. Honestly, just fell in my lap. Like actually, the Kochi show was supposed to be the first show.
Okay.
And then Bangalore, the date came through, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Can we do it
Yeah.
this date? There's no other date." So we just had to make it work.
I'm excited for you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Because you're obviously based right here. You're
Yes.
really taking us. The reason why I wanted to highlight that as well is there's a Saudi Ecuadorian singer recently. His name is Mishal. He was actually on tour with One Republic.
What?
Yes, you see your reaction.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's
on tour.
amazing.
So he was going with them. Europe. He went to Germany, Italy, and the thing is,
Incredible.
he didn't get any sort of kind of coverage because he's singing in English.
Oh my God.
You see,
Come on.
that for me that hurts. And he was on tour with them, and at the end of the like he would do a set,
Yeah.
and then they would go do their thing, and then they would bring him on for their final record.
Oh my God. That's huge.
That is exactly. So
That's huge.
that's. I want you guys to hear this
Yes.
from one other artist because you
Oh
think
my
I'm
God.
always loud and shouting. No, this is another artist talking about it.
That's incredible.
It's
That's
important.
incredible.
So I really, I'm gonna push. I'm promising you on air. I'm gonna push for some people to cover that from here,
Please, yes,
from the
please.
UAE, for
Yes.
that to be pushed because you're still representing, obviously.
Absolutely.
the
Absolutely.
UAE. Where can people go check out? Like you're gonna be obviously updating us on your
Yes.
social media, I guess.
Yes, on my Instagram page is the best place
Okay,
at the
okay.
moment. So if you just find me at Shilpa Ananth, which is SHILPA ANANTH.
Amazing. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back for our last segment. I'm actually going to hear the search, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
I love the search. Shilpa Ananth, incredible artist. Keep it locked right here on Pulse 95 Radio. This is Catch a Vibe.
Catch a Vibe with Big Hass. Only on Pulse. Pulse 95. Pulse.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Catch a vibe. This is our last segment with Shilpa Ananth, an amazing artist from South India to the world, based right here in the UAE. She's about to embark on a big tour, in India from the 13th of August to the 23rd of August with amazing people. And she's working, like she actually put this whole tour together by herself and with the help of people, but she's like investing in the purpose of what a tour is. And I love that. Shilpa, really good to have you right here on the show. Really, it's an honor. And I'm definitely wishing you all the best as always. We want to definitely hear from you another record. But before that, I want to talk about what do you think, as Shilpa Ananth, the evolution of your sound from when you started till now, 2023? What would you say is the evolution of that sound?
I would say there has to be an evolution just because I have come so far in terms of, who I am as an artist and what I listen to and what affects me and also what I've gone through in life. And each song represents kind of the change and kind of the feelings of existential crisis or themes of identity and not knowing where I belong within my cultures and the things the places I come from. And so I think there's going to be a change no matter what. I don't think, I wouldn't want to stay the same. So there are a lot of people who would come up to me and be like, oh, like, I love the music from Indian soul, like, could you make more?
Stick to that.
Yeah, stick to that. Like, can you, like, maybe make stuff that's more like that? Your sound has changed so much over the years. And I'm like, but see, as an artist, I have to grow.
Thank you.
Right, and maybe I'll do something like that, but I'm not going to force it, and I'm not certainly not going to do it just because someone told me that. So I think for me it has been gentle, but at the same time it has
gentle.
Yeah, but
I like that word.
Yeah.
Yesterday I had Alexandra Kristic, and she
Yes.
said something interesting. She's like, I never do music for people. I do
Yes.
music obviously for.
First for you,
yeah.
For you have to, because when you create from that space, if you're thinking about what everybody else wants, then you're not really creating.
You'll get lost.
Yeah, exactly, because then you're gonna all the voices and all the things that you're trying to do just to sound like appealing, it's gonna take over. But if you're doing it from a place of honesty, truth, and wanting to express what you're going through,
Man,
I think you cannot go wrong with that.
Love that.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first ever performance on a stage?
Oh my God.
Live?
Yes, actually.
Oh wow. How old? Where were you? Like what?
I was here, of course. I grew up in Dubai,
Yeah.
right? So it was in, now it's not known as that, but it's a dragon castle in Bardubai.
Yes.
So
I heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like right next to Alain Center and that area, also the hood. So yeah, so it was in Dragon Castle, and it was this like Indian kind of music, like
Get together.
No, it was a competition. Yeah, and I was 9 or 10. So nervous.
Do we have footage of this one?
No, thank God. Embarrassment. So that was like my first competition. Before that, I've been on stage, but it was like school shows and stuff. But this was like the moment where I was getting completely exposed and having to like perform in front of people alone. And so I feel like that was a moment where I was like, okay,
do you remember the
this?
feeling?
Yeah, I was extremely nervous, which I still, even after all these years, there's that feeling is still, 100% have.
And you performed a lot. Like you performed in a lot of places.
Yeah, but still have that stage performance anxiety. I think what happens to me is that once I get up on stage, and this is true from that young age until this young age.
Facts.
So yeah, I think still, even till this day, once I step up on stage, once I'm doing it in front of people, and when the first note has been finished, that's when I'm like, I'm home. Yeah. There's nothing to worry about.
Love that.
They're here to support me. If not, I don't care.
Let's
Why
go.
are you here? Like, yeah. So,
See that attitude?
Just enjoy.
I love that. That's incredible. Your new music, obviously, that you're touring with right now, Reproduction?
Yes. My new album, Reproduction, is coming out on September 13th.
Nice.
Actually, yeah.
Tell me about that.
It's been something again in the works for a while because of so many things, the pandemic and then also financial stuff, everything coming in play that I wanted to make sure that if I'm going to put something out, I needed to make sure that it's coming out at the right time and also that I'm not forcing anything, that it's aligning with my, with where I'm at and putting it out when I'm ready for it.
Correct.
So finally, like I've been wanting to put it out for the past 2 years, but I decided that, people have very short attention spans, and I realized that
Fact.
I shouldn't put something out and risk people just completely, losing it, or not, completely like going over it and not listening to all the songs. So the past 2-3 years, I've been putting out like my songs Align, The Search, Fear, I Dwell. All these songs are part
These
of
are all
the
part
album.
of the album.
Yes.
Smart.
So when the album comes out, there will be 3 new songs.
Yeah.
So they'll still get
No, I think that's the
value.
right way to do it. You're doing it the right way, because
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. If you
Yeah.
release an album that's all new songs, it's unfair.
Exactly, and it's good. It's just going to go over everyone's heads, and maybe they'll listen to it. Maybe the real fans will listen to it. But for new fans, I want to make sure that I'm giving pieces of myself, and even for myself, I wanted to make sure I can focus on each thing. Release a video, have the support to be able to put things out.
In the tour, are you performing only from that album, or like it's gonna be
No,
like
it's going to be a mix. So it's going to be songs from my Indian soul album, because I still feel like, even though it came out, like it sounds crazy that it's almost 10 years at this point.
right?
Almost, but it feels like it's still new, because I feel like people are still finding out about me and still don't know about me.
Yeah.
So it's good that they are exposed to everything I'm capable of.
Amazing.
And then they can go and listen to, my stuff.
So Reproduction out in September.
September 13th.
September 13th.
Yeah, 13 is my lucky numbers, my birthday date. So
It is?
I like to release things as a 13 on the 13th or something, like try to find connection.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Today is the 13th of August. Like, I'm just
Yes.
saying, like, this is written.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's hear a little bit of Fear,
Yes.
if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I still have a couple more questions to ask you. So,
Let's go.
you ready?
I'm ready.
Cool. All right.
Let's do it.
This is Shilpa Ananth with Fear.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can.
I'm trapped in a mirror inside.
Oh.
And as she takes over,
Nice.
I wonder if I'll make it out alive.
It's coming. Oh. Yeah. Go do that tour, man. I'm telling you.
I've come so far, yet I am nowhere. Years go by as I open every door. Out of cards, I look up at the stars and pray to know what I'm in for. Lost in a maze, dreading time as I age. I'm spinning out of control. I was certain of my life purpose, unafraid of the unknown. She's gonna hold on as she feeds on my inner light.
Oh, wow.
Locked in her shadow. Do I give in or do I fight? Do I fight?
Fight.
Do I fight? Do I fight? Do I fight? Do I fight? Do I fight?
No way. Yeah. This is mad.
Breaking the chains holding me down in vain. I'm leaking inspiration. Won't let her play my worth or focus through it all. I will rise.
Yeah. Hey, if that's not culture, man, come on.
I've come so far, yet I am nowhere. Can anybody hear me? Years go by as I open every door. I'm cracking the circle of my life. Taking charge, I look up at the stars, and as I wait in power, I've come so far, finally somewhere. I wonder if I'll make it out alive.
Oh, wow. Wow.
song, you
that
always get
was-
me hyped.
Yeah, this is wow, this is incredible. I love it. I love this seriously. And as we listen to the instrumental of "Feel So Natural," I want to say thank you for saying yes to this show, for coming through, because you've gained a new fan.
Thank you. Thank you so
I'm not saying I
much.
wasn't. I'm just saying that I didn't know much.
Absolutely.
And like I said earlier, I take these interviews. I don't take them for granted. I get to know. So I respect the fact that you never forget where you come from.
Yeah.
You're putting that in your music.
Absolutely.
I respect the hustle. You're about to go on a tour. I don't know many people right here in the UAE that did a tour like that. And India is a big place.
Absolutely. Yes.
So that's number two. I love the fact that you're at peace in yourself, and you can notice in the past 50 minutes or so that this lady is at peace with herself, and I think that is something that we need to all look up to.
Yeah.
At number four, I love the fact that you're, obviously, with your band, you're getting in some of the people right here.
Yeah.
That's also exposure for them, I think, as well.
Absolutely.
No, thank you so much, and that's like a little bit of what I have in mind right now. We've reached the end of this, obviously, journey. I still have a question I need to ask you, but a quicker answer.
Yeah.
The songwriting process for Shilpa Ananth, because I see there's a lot of. You wrote about the shadow. You wrote about right now, like you noticed the fight within. It's just a lot of messages like that. What inspired your songwriting?
For me, a lot of it comes from this place of existential crisis or wondering what my purpose is in this planet, and wanting to at the same time inspire people, inspire women, because I feel like coming from the very much patriarchal society that we're a part of, and having that sort of that mentality being driven into us from a very young age, that our value as women comes only from like who we marry or how many kids we have, or just how much money we have from the marriage, not even your own money, but just like what you accumulate.
You're defying all that.
Yeah, so I think for me, the music comes from this place of almost like a resistance, or like a
yes
saying like no thank you. I'm gonna take my time. Maybe it's doesn't seem successful or doesn't look like my maybe you can question me as a woman or something because I'm not going down the traditional path.
I'll say this, and I find always a way to say this in every single show. There's an old Bedouin saying that says a human being with no impact has no life.
There you go.
So you see where, like,
absolutely,
this is where you're at. This is your impact, and I think you're also inspiring a lot of people and that's why your voice needs to be amplified so you can even reach more people.
100%.
Shilpa Ananth, incredible. Any last words you'd like to say to anybody? And as you go embark on this tour, we wish you all the best right here from the UAE. We're very proud of you. Just know that we're gonna be playing your records right here.
Yay.
Maybe we'll play a Shilpa record every single day until you're back. How
my
about
God,
that?
that would be amazing. that would be so supportive.
I promise you, we'll do that. We'll play a Shilpa Ananth record every single day during tour. Any last words you'd like to say?
I just want to say to anyone who is, thinking of getting into music or into any sort of art form, in terms of like trying to do this as a career, just like believe in yourself in a way, even when it's so tough, because I know how hard it is. And, as artists, we are constantly dealing with imposter syndrome and feelings of, unworthiness or not feeling good enough, and wondering and comparing ourselves. And then social media is there to help us
validate yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's very important that the voice within yourself, outside of all of those voices, has to be much stronger, so that when people tell you that, you're doing it, you shouldn't be doing this anymore, you should like change your career, or you should find something else to do with your
Tell
time.
them thank you.
Exactly.
Do me.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
And go do you,
100%.
Yeah.
Shilpa, thank you so much. We're actually going to end with your record called Align.
Yes.
Perfect song. And this is going to be a record on rotation right here on Pulse 95 Radio as well. Thank you so much.
Yay,
Shilpa
thank you so
Ananth.
much. Thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be here.
Bless you, bless you. We'll see you guys next week. We say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shilpa, make us proud, India.
I will do my best.
Assalamu alaikum. We'll see you guys next week. Salam.